Part 2 of our two-part series on the Education System Transformation Program begins with our teachers and their development. Teachers, invariably perceived as pilots of the process, steering our children who remain the main focus of the navigated path being taken.
Teacher, you have chosen a noble profession. In your hands, you have the power of change, sustained change. And in order to be as effective as you'd like to be, it is important that you are a learner as much as you're a teacher. And so the children who come to you, the children with whom you're engaged, help them to be the best that they can be.
I want the teacher, the new teacher, the fledgling teacher, or the teacher who has been in the classroom for a while, never to forget that education gives us the opportunity to treat children as though they were wet cement, or hands or fingerprints are going to be on them. And the mark that we leave is going to be indelible, whether it is positive or negative. I also want the teachers to remember, even as I remembered as a teacher, that you're never at your end. There's always another step. So I want teachers to be curious. I want teachers to love learning, because in loving learning, then you keep yourself excited about education.
Being so excited is about lifelong learning and the meaningful development of our teachers. The Jamaica Teaching Council, JTC, has therefore been mandated to facilitate capacity building for teachers and to raise and regulate standards governing the teaching profession.
The body was urgently needed to give that focus to how teachers develop, how the programs develop. What is the impact of what we do with the teachers? When we provide training, how do we know that the training is making a difference? How do we communicate with teachers about their role in the national development process? How do we help teachers to understand that they are really bringing up a nation?
It's not a body to be feared.
We want to get to that stage where teachers see the council, all teachers, because some teachers have the right perception, but we want all teachers to see the council as theirs, to see the council as a body set up to enable them and the profession, and not as a body set up to punish them.
It's a comment being made to address eyebrows at times being raised on the whole question of the licensing of teachers.
We want to engage the Jamaica Teaching Council. We want them to be a part of us, and we want to be a part of them. But it must be done that we are there and we are in agreement. There's a common understanding of where we are going with the Jamaica Teaching Council bill, rather than the bill be seen as a punitive act that is going to come to impose itself upon us as teachers.
You're a teacher because you're licensed, and the license indicates you meet the standard of the profession. That's what it means for every teacher. It's not a punitive thing. Any profession should want a body that supports the standard of the profession.
It's long postponed, and in hindsight, I'm sorry that I ensured so much consultation that in fact it dribbled over the four-year period that I was there. It ought to have been passed long before. But even the licensing system under the Jamaica Teaching Council Act does not sufficiently deal with the rigidity of the education regulations and the system of contracting employment. And this has a knock-on effect upon the capacity of the system to afford the best possible instructors where they are needed.
Pointed comments from all that's probing. Teacher development also points to the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission, JTEC, established as the regulatory body for tertiary education in Jamaica. The Commission's primary mandate is to regulate, standardize, safeguard, and transform Jamaica's tertiary education sector.
First of all, we need to ensure that we have as many types of institutions as are necessary for the National Development Project. So it's not just universities, it's also institutes and colleges, and the vision would be that everybody doesn't have to have a formal degree, but everybody can have a level of knowledge and training that would be, take them up the ladder. We have developed what is called a National Qualifications Framework. It's a tool that allows, that has different levels for different levels of education. People should be able to enter the qualifications landscape based on what they actually know and what they're able to do. And you can give them some kind of recognition of that. And then we want to encourage people to advance to understand that lifelong learning is a real thing.
Lifelong learning, real and recurring, particularly so in the development of our teachers. When we return, the schools we build and the critical lessons of literacy and numeracy.